whose goals clinched promotion to the second division in May after absence through a pelvic problem. His inclusion in preference to Tom Watson is the only change to the side beaten at Blackburn on Saturday. Gary Childs has fond memories of this competition. He was a member of the Walsall team that advanced to the semi-final stage 7 years ago before succumbing to Liverpool. Spurs too make one alteration to a side beaten at the weekend. Peter Shreeves looks to pep up his midfield by restoring David Howells in place of Naeem. The team still includes 6 internationals in the starting lineup and 2 more on the bench. Well, few of the Spurs lads have ever been to Cleethorpes. Indeed, this is the first time the sides have come across one another for over 40 years. And tonight's referee, who comes from Coventry, is Kieran Barrett. So quite a night of Rumbelows action in prospect, and later we'll have highlights from the rest of the Cup programme for you. And it will be Spurs who attack the pontoon end first, with Paul Futcher heading the ball solidly away to Gilbert, who will ferry up and down that left-hand side of the touchline. And Spurs know that Grimsby are likely to throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at them in the opening stages. So they'll be looking to hold the fire and then come out themselves. And there's one man who'll help to quell it, the England man Gary Mabbott. And yet again it dropped a matter of feet away, and here's Lineker just on the edge of the area. Howells straight against Futcher. Howells again, sliced away by Lever. That's a corner for Tottenham, their first. And all this pressure is coming about directly from the boot of Eric Torsted. The Spurs goalkeeper is landing his clearances right on the edge of the Grimsby penalty area, and they're disconcerting. Samways, left-footed. One at the near post. It's longer than that, though. Lovely ball back to Samways, and this is impressive. Allen. Sedgley. Well, Lineker was always going for it. Sherwood was always going to get there before him. And he tests his length and direction there on the clearance, and it's well picked up by Rees. He did really well then, and he's fed Gilbert on the left-hand side. Gilbert waiting for support to arrive in the penalty area. Chips the ball across. Here comes Torsted together. With Woods coming in, it's an advantage when you're 6'4". That was a lovely build-up with the Rees's pass. Grimsby do play good, deliberate football. Gilbert biding his time, choosing the moment for the cross, and when it came, Torsted reacted admirably. And this is Grimsby coming through. Oh, and tripped, and that's certainly going to be a booking, I would have thought. Tony Rees there had really tricked his man, and all that Sedgley could do in that situation was to bring the man down. Rees was on a clear run to goal, and this is contentious. He was the last defender in line, but it's a yellow card from referee Barrett. Masterful play by Tony Rees to carry him into that position, and Sedgley booked in the opening 10 minutes of the game. Gilbert stands on it, and the shot is from Childs. Woods still trying to get it through to Cockrell, can't do so, and Tottenham break. Excellent work from the skipper Cunnington. Well won by McDermott from Lineker, and he sets Cunnington trying to go through the middle. Rees, delightful skill again from Rees, and he's still tussling for it. Eventually there were too many Spurs men around, and a bit of fisticuffs now. That's unnecessary. Both Sedgley and Howells were there. It's Sedgley who seems the more annoyed, over Howells has got a set look on his face. And there will be another booking here. Well, it's to be hoped from Tottenham's point of view that it's Howells and not Sedgley who's involved, but it's Rees, first of all, who referee Barrett speaks to. And Rees is the man who will incur a yellow card. Now, will Mr. Barrett have words with anybody from Tottenham? not so. So 2 players already booked, Rees of Grimsby and Sedgley of Spurs. And there's a bit of needle developing. And over on the far touchline, Pat van den Houw is talking with the linesman. And Doug Charnley, the linesman over there, has something to say about Van den Houw's conduct here. And referee Barrett is going to have to be strong. Now what's he going to do? Gary Mabbott has gone over to inquire as the captain about what it's all about. There could be trouble for the Welsh international. Spurs had Gordon Durie sent off on Saturday at West Ham. And the inference here is that we've got another card, but it's a yellow one again. So 3 bookings, 2 for Spurs, 1 for Grimsby. And Messrs Van den Houw, Sedgley and Rees are going to have to tread gingerly from now on. Let's get back to the football with another punt upfield. It's not really been an edifying first half. Childs. Good linking. McDermott goes down the right this time. Tries to get his square around Edinburgh, can't do so. Free kick again against the Spurs man. He was in a no-win situation there. He had to block his man out, and the only way he could do so was with the body. Grimsby's free kick here. Gilbert on the left foot. Oh, short and too short, and intercepted, and giving Durie the chance to come back at Grimsby's throat just when it was their opportunity. Slows it up, still Durie on, and whips the shot in as well. 2 feet wide of the right upright. He says it took a deflection, the referee says it didn't. And all that because Grimsby tried to be too clever from the free kick. Durie able to sprint away and leave the field scattered behind him. He'd got men coming up on his right, but chose in the end to do it all himself. And when he finally lashed the shot in, it was that close. Spurs need a bit of breathing space. And the only way they can get it for the moment is to play it back to the Norwegian goalkeeper. Well, that's a good header from Durie. He's found Lineker here, and Durie invited to run on and might try one with the left foot, and he's teeing up Howells, and Howells has scored for Spurs. Just what Tottenham needed to settle themselves. That's First Division finishing for you. Durie really inviting David Howells to celebrate his return to the side here. Lovely slip pass from him, and he slides it in with the instep wide of Sherwood, and Spurs are in the lead. And David Howells has his first goal of the season. He only played in the reserves against Arsenal on Saturday, and it's his first goal for almost exactly a year. And didn't he strike it clinically? It's exactly 10 years since Spurs last reached the League Cup final. It was known under a different name in those days, of course. They've won the competition twice. And Grimsby have reached the 5th round twice. Grimsby are already going to make a substitution, while you see that Spurs have got an injury problem of their own. Paul Futcher, who's been playing with stitches in the head wound, is going to take his leave of the game, and he will be replaced by No, he won't. He'll be replaced by Tommy Watson. Mark Smith is the other substitute, but it's Tommy Watson who's coming on. And interesting move this. Looks as though John Cockrell is going to move into the back 4. The injury to Edinburgh here, picked up in this challenge. It's quite a solid one. I think he was just caught on the back of the neck, but not maliciously. So Edinburgh's okay. Again, Grimsby look to catch Tottenham unawares. Somehow they've just not been able to extract full value when they've had the opportunity. Really monopolising possession at times. Rees lays it off delightfully well. Woods stay able to keep it in, but do no more than nudge it into the path of Van den Hauwe. And Spurs, adept at retaining possession, do that. Howells has support down his left from Edinburgh. Up the middle from Lineker. Oh, that's a great ball in, and this is a great chance as well for Spurs to make it two. And an excellent covering tackle by Sean Connington to keep Howells at bay. He did the captain's job that time. Spurs just looked that bit more incisive. A place in Saturday's fourth round draw beckons tonight's winners. Howells there has got the one goal so far. Samways with the corner kick. Sherwood will gather it surely. Very surely. Oh, well, Sedgley didn't need to clear that. Torsford was surely asking for the ball. But the challenge on Dury hard enough to warrant a free kick. Van den Hauwe. Lineker. Still found a man, although didn't seem to direct it exactly where he wanted. Spurs make progress. With difficulty. Stewart. No comment necessary. Referee Barrett has glanced at his watch, decided there's still time to be played on. We're now moving into time added on for injuries. In a first half that was disappointing for the first 25 minutes or so, has picked up certainly since Howell's opening goal, which came just after the half hour. The throw in long. Stewart can't get there, so Gilbert will take it away from the danger zone. And that, in fact, is half-time here at Blundell Park. So the sides separated by one goal, but Spurs really have looked the more incisive of the two teams and are probably good value for it. David Howell's got that goal just after half an hour, and that gives us a half-time score here of Grimsby Town 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Well, later we'll have for you highlights from 4 of the other Rumbelows Cup ties featuring all the teams in our region. Grimsby, though, have it all to do in the second half here at Blundell Park. We'll take a short break and we'll be right back with... So the second half begins at Blundell Park, and Grimsby certainly have it all to do. A goal down against one of the top teams in the country, but in front they'll be delighted to know of one of their biggest crowds for years, over 17,000. Well, the last time Gary Lineker played here was in 1983 when Grimsby beat Leicester 2-0. Leicester's strikers were Lineker and Alan Smith, and the papers were full of talk of a future England international, Kevin Drinkle of Grimsby. They got it wrong. Can Grimsby get it right in this second half? Appeals for a handball. Well, to get it right, Grimsby have brought on a substitute. Mark Smith has been brought on in place of Kevin Jobling at left back. Another interesting switch by Alan Buckley. And here are Grimsby inside the Spurs penalty area. And I would certainly like to have been a fly on the wall in the Grimsby dressing room to hear what Mr. Buckley had to say to the troops. How are they going to unlock the Spurs door? Childs now. Good ball through, but it's just that bit wide of Woods. Nonetheless, the idea was good. Again, the Spurs man first to the ball. Reacted well. Stewart rides the challenge of Cunnington and goes forward. Paul Stewart, who's strong. Lineker, Dury on the volley, and it's just put out of play by Smith, getting in front of Lineker. Gary Lineker so often squeezes the ball across the line from 2 or 3 yards out, and that's exactly where he was lurking. It's been an unproductive night for the England man so far. You write him off at your peril. Dury taking on throwing responsibilities for Spurs. Mabbutt's up there, through to Sherwood. And the goalkeeper's continuing to see a lot of the ball. Mabbutt unable to force it through. Neither side will want a replay, that's for sure. Grimsby already have 2 or 3 matches to fit into their busy programme. Spurs are due in Portugal next week, so a replay of this match would be in a couple of weeks' time. And again, that Grimsby break repelled, so it's Lineker coming forward, sliding it through. Dury, excellent play, and off the post it comes, and Dury so unlucky. And once more, this newfound partnership that Spurs have got of Lineker and Dury working almost to perfection. Only the width of that upright denied them. Gilbert, having accepted the free kick, plays it down for Tony Rees inside the Tottenham penalty area. He turns and tries to lay the ball in here. Watson shot. He tries to get the follow-up, and it's knocked out of play by Sedgley. And a Grimsby roar goes up for almost the first time. More Grimsby pressure from the throw-in here. Taken by Smith. Cunnington comes to support. A little ball through for Gilbert, but the return is too weak. Gilbert, this is good for Grimsby. Gilbert, oh, good ball in too. And the header out, only drops at the edge of the area. So Childs tries to turn the screw again. And once more it's intricate and just can't get that final pass through. And now a free kick has gone to Tottenham. Well, a few moments ago it could have been 2-0. Tottenham's turn to lose possession. Lazily. McDermott, Rees, no free kick this time, almost won back. Now it is McDermott coming through, almost getting it into the inside right channel occupied by Woods. Childs, this is much better from Grimsby, if only that final ball was better. McDermott, that's an excellent pass. Childs seeing a lot of the ball at the moment, tries to get around Edinburgh, plays the cross in behind for a goal kick. Well, that gives us a chance to look at the moment when Spurs could so easily have gone 2 goals to the good. Gordon Dury taking it on from Lineker, slashing the shot across the face of goal and back off the inside of the upright. Grimsby always appear to be at full stretch somehow, but now Smith takes it on from Woods. He's past his man, delightful play by Mark Smith, and not a bad cross! Oh, and it's turned behind at the back post by Howells. It needed the merest deflection there as Rees came diving in for it. Lovely piece of work by Mark Smith. Those were first division skills, all right. Across the face of Torsved's goal, Rees couldn't get the touch. Gary Childs will try his luck. Oh, it's a great effort, and Torsved flips it over the top. And Gary Childs, the man who played in a Littlewoods Cup final as it was 7 years ago, almost marks this occasion with what would have been a splendid goal. Good strike. Again, it'll be Tom Watson on the right foot. Cockrell, and here's a chance. What a wonderful save it is from Woods' header by Torsved. That's kept Spurs in the lead, and it was a brilliant reaction stop from the Norwegian. Grimsby continue to come at Spurs. They're giving them a good game, all right. And here is another shot, and it takes the deflection. There's no way Torsved would have stopped that one from Tommy Watson. The deflection took it wide for the latest Grimsby corner. I think that referee Barrett is having words with David Howells for some reason. And David Howells, who ran the gauntlet a little bit in the first half, has been booked, and he's the third Spurs player cautioned on the night. Spurs are in a spot of bother here as Grimsby have a corner. Cunnington's gone for it with the header. Flies wide of the upright. Well, as the cross came in there, it was down there for Neil Woods' header, and what a brilliant and brave stop by Torsved. Tottenham's throw-in. Lever knocks it out as far as Samways, and an intelligent header from him, and a little ball from Van den Houw. Tried to set Allen free. Spurs get no more than a throw-in. But they've not really threatened Sherwood's goal much in this half, apart from that one effort by Dury. A free kick is awarded. Lineker winning it. The substitute for Tottenham Hotspur then is Gudni Bergson, the Icelandic international. He's replaced David Howells. The Spurs have a free kick, and it's a tricky one. Lever just getting his toe to it in time, but the whistle sounds in Grimsby's favour. Bergson goes into central defence. More pressure will be applied here by Grimsby, with Childs nicking the little ball inside. Desperate defending at times by Tottenham in this half. And certainly that save by Torsved from the header by Woods, the highlight of the night. Grimsby win it. Childs on the ball. Nice to turn back by Rees. Using the chest well, Woods goes on and threads it through. Gilbert will drive the shot in, and another stop by Torsved. Well, this giant goalkeeper really is winning the acclaim of the Grimsby fans tonight. There's a fine shot by Gilbert, he hit it first time, and the keeper produced the perfect reaction. It's another Grimsby corner. They've had enough in this second half. They haven't done anything with any of them as yet. Childs. And again, he's creating problems. So that time there were just too many around him. Samways, the back pass cut off, getting himself into a spot of bother, and he's rather fortunate to have got away with that. In fact, it's not gone out of play even yet. Extraordinary interlude, this. That time there was a whistle, and it will be a goal kick. Grimsby have created certainly more chances in this second half. What a lovely build-up it was as well, with Rees and Woods there. And eventually the ball coming across to David Gilbert. But watch out for Torsved's reaction now as Gilbert smashes it in. He's a big man and gets down superbly. And Allen might think of doing more by himself this time. Here he is. Cohorts with Dury. Still Dury, who gets past Smith easily. Oh, that was good play by the Scottish international, Gordon Dury. It required Cockrell to come across and do a centre-half's defending to deny him the space he needed. And Steve Sherwood in the Grimsby goal has been largely redundant for this second half. Apart from one effort from Gordon Dury, he now has to face a corner. And summon those in front of him to face it too. Short for Allen. Good ball back for Allen. Just that touch too long for him. But Tottenham are still here with Stewart and the ball over the top. Lineker's in! And that's typical Lineker. A goal out of absolutely nothing for Gary Lineker. And that surely has won the tie for Tottenham and killed off Grimsby's challenge. How many times have we seen this? Poor Stewart looping the ball over the top. There seemed to be little harm, but a simple stretch of the right leg by Gary Lineker has sent Tottenham into a 2-goal lead. Gary Lineker's 17th goal of yet another productive season, and that might be good enough to take Tottenham through to round 4. Paul Walsh will now replace Paul Allen. Here again we see it. Paul Allen tussling for it. The ball had come out, not backed in here. Stewart looping it across. Lineker timing the run to perfection, as he always seems to do. And now he can afford to smile a little. It's not been an easy night for them. And another international, Paul Walsh, enters the fray. It's a dangerous ball. Grimsby's trying to make something of it. Again with Childs, lovely pass. Gilbert this time. Might lead the early ball in. Well, the challenge of the second defender, Van den Houw, was a bit fierce. I don't think Gilbert himself complained. But Van den Houw in trouble again. He was booked in the first half for leaving the field without permission. I think he'll get strong words, but no more for this. Let's have a look at it. He always challenges strongly. There is Gilbert on the ball. Van den Houw going in. Gilbert trying to step over the top of him. And it's no more than a talking to for Pat Van den Houw, one of the hard men of the game. Childs, free kick for Grimsby, who need a goal, but they're jostling overzealously. Lineker, and again he's found Dury, and he gets on into the penalty area. He's herring in there, is Lineker, to try to get the return, if it should be forthcoming. It might, but not just yet. There he is again, however. Gilbert's interception. And now Gilbert, and Grimsby, a lot of movement up front. Can he pick out the right man? Brilliant ball. Plays Watson in. The covering player is Stewart, who's done as much in defence as he has in attack and midfield tonight. That's a nice little work. Worked 1-2. Oh, it was brilliantly done. And Gilbert pumps it wide. Excellent fluidity about this Grimsby attack at times. And that really was one of the better attacks of the night by both sides. Gilbert just got the angle all wrong. But look at the excellent touches here. Rees with the layoff. Childs with the cutback. It eluded Woods, it didn't elude Gilbert, but he couldn't hit the target. Tottenham will feel they've probably got the job done now. We're inside the last 10 minutes, and they're 2 up. neat again, but Lineker just stumbling, couldn't get there. He does now, and Dury turning the defender McDermott well. Dury goes on, and on again, Lineker, Dury, and that's 3. And that's splendid reward for Gordon Dury. That must have sealed it now for Spurs. And the 1-2 between Lineker and Dury has unhinged Grimsby. Dury, Lineker, and the Scottish international threading his way between the defenders and whipping it past Sherwood has sent Spurs into round 4. And Gordon Dury picks up his 7th goal of this campaign, his first for Spurs, and he really is finding an excellent understanding with Lineker, as that reveals. 3-0 then, Tottenham lead, and Grimsby surely now are on their way out of the Rumbelows Cup for this season. It would be a shame if Grimsby were to be overrun now, because they do not deserve that. But here is Lineker once more, and it was a fair challenge by Cockrell. It's left Lineker down, but he'll pick himself up all right. You've got to feel some sympathy for Grimsby, because they really have given everything, but they've been hit each time that Tottenham have struck back at them in quick flashes. They've scored 3 and hit the post once, and that really is more than Grimsby have been able to summon up, despite all their efforts. 5 minutes to go. They're still trying. Reece, he deserves a goal, and another deflection. Here now, Childs. Surely, no, Woods. Gilbert, can he get one? Across, oh, nearly knocked the man out. Brave defending there by Gary Mabbutt. Well, he's smiling. He was nearly unconscious from it. Tony Reece getting the first shot in. It came away handily to Childs. His cross beyond Torsford, also beyond Woods. Here's Gilbert, and when he plays it back in, it's Mabbutt who knocks it away. The corner taken, and that's Torsford's ball. There's no doubt that this season is turning out to be much more productive for Spurs away from White Hart Lane than it is on their own ground. This will be their 6th away win of the season. They might yet add to the 3 goals they've got. Walsh, some ways ahead of him. Walsh doesn't need him just yet. And it's Grimsby, all of a sudden, who are looking a little bit groggy. But their spirit will carry them through to the final whistle. And it would be so nice for them if they could just get a goal as reward for all their endeavours. They deserve something. And so do the fans who've stayed here to the end. There is some reward for Grimsby. David Gilbert has been named as the Rumbelows man of the match. And he'll be the one who goes racing after this ball now to try and get some consolation for Grimsby from the throw-in. Walsh. He can really spring that trap this time as Dury goes on. Lineker's up on the far side of the penalty area. Here's the ball in. It's beyond Lineker. Won't go out of play, I don't think. The contest over, unless Grimsby produce a sort of miraculous comeback that Scarborough did at Crewe a couple of weeks ago. Somehow I don't think that's on the cards. But there's still run for every ball. So Connington just overdid it that time. But he waits to see what damage is incurred on Gary Mabbutt. A satisfied team, bench team there, led by Peter Shreves. In his second spell as Spurs manager, of course, he was in charge from 1984 to 86 when he led them to UEFA Cup glory. And I fancy we've just a couple of minutes to go. Samways, that was too close. And Rees couldn't find Gilbert with the return ball. Walsh. Rees, lovely play. Woods going through the middle is Cunnington. Instead he chooses Gilbert. He'll be confronted straight away by Walsh. Torsford can't get that one. Here maybe for Rees. No. Again he couldn't get the angle and he stays down. Now the last thing that Grimsby want is for Tony Rees to get injured. He's missed a number of matches with a knee injury, and one hopes as we see this shot again that he hasn't done himself some more damage. Rees coming in on it, twisting, going down and showing a little bit of agony as he went down on that left knee. Critical for Grimsby's ambitions that Rees is fit. Alan Buckley has only just had the benefit of being able to call on Rees and the rest of his first team squad, about all of them recently, so he doesn't want Rees out at all. To see he's back on his feet with hobbling, and we'll finish the match by the look of it. That's good. Edinburgh. It's been quite a battle between Dury and Lever, and the youngster this time gets the free kick off the Spurs striker. Dury certainly one of the buys of the summer. To be just kept in by Smith. Gilbert shielding it neatly, threading it through. Watson, maybe he'll have a pot at goal. He will. Came back off somebody, and I'm not sure who, whether it was his own man or a Tottenham player. But it's Walsh who brings Tottenham out, and then feeds it down the line for Samways. Vanden Houw. Lineker, and Walsh goes on. Tottenham looking menacing again. Grimsby reacting promptly, but they've only succeeded in giving the ball back to the former England striker. It's run dead, however. And I think now Grimsby can concentrate their thoughts on Saturday's game here against Charlton Athletic. They've certainly done themselves proud here, though. There's been national exposure of all sorts on this game. And Grimsby don't really deserve to lose it 3-0. They might lose it 4-0. Dury, no more than a couple of feet wide, and he appreciated the ball through, which gave him the chance. That really would have been a travesty if Dury had made it 4-0 though, because Grimsby certainly even unlucky to lose by 3. It's been a thoroughly professional performance by Spurs, and the first half goal from David Howells and the two struck in the second half by Gary Lineker and Gordon Dury were enough to take the tie away from a brave Grimsby side who tried might and main but just didn't have the answer when Tottenham produced their clinical finishing. So it ends here with Spurs going through